Now that we have spawns here, you're still wondering, okay, we have spawns, that's Slayer had spawns. I don't understand how flags work. That's a big objective type. So let's start with those. Let's go down to game data, Netgame Flags. Now remember when we placed weapons, we had Netgame equipment. So Netgame Flags is not just about capture the flag flags. It's about King of the Hill areas, race, vehicles and tracks, oddball spawns. So we see the first one selected is capture the flag, CTF flag. Now I want to point out something very, very important. We have our capture the flag team spawns here as team 1. When I place the flag here, that's going to cause issues with all the spawn points here because this is team 0. This caused me a huge headache when I was making capture the flag maps because I didn't understand what was wrong with my map. I didn't pay attention to the team indexes, and as it turns out, you cannot put, based on the game engine, you cannot put the opposite team spawn points close to the opposite team's flag. So you can't help a team along by letting them spawn right next to the flag. So when placing your flag, make sure you put the right team index where it's supposed to be. So 1 is supposed to be there, 0 is supposed to be there. As for which colors those are, I am not sure at the moment. I will put those on the video below. Here you go, right here somewhere. There you go. Now, unfortunately in Sapien you will not see these flags. So you'll see these just placement items, and you'll recall when you were placing the Netgame equipment, that's pretty much the same thing. So let's put a special weapon right here, right there. Let's make it for King of the Hill only. Or let's mix this up. Let's make it for King of the Hill and capture the flag. So we shouldn't see it on Slayer. And let's make it a rocket launcher. Let's see, I'm looking for item collections, single weapons, and let's make it a rocket launcher. And let's make it levitate. Okay. So yeah, you saw in Netgame equipment that it doesn't show up in Sapien. So that's sadly the same thing for the flags. So how you place your flags is very simple actually. Let's go to our scenery, and I've already added this to my scenery selections using edit types. Let's put a flag base down, and you'll see that shows up in Sapien, and you'll recognize it as the classic flag base. Let me click out of here. This is the classic flag base you see in all Halo games. So let's put one there, and let's put one here. Oops. Selected comments. Let's put one there. And now let's go to our flags. Netgame Flags under game data. Let's move the so team 1. Team 1 by the team 1 spawns. Let's put them right here and try to line it up with the flag base. And then let's go over here and line this flag up with this flag base. Okay. Now you'd think we're done at this point because, I mean, we have our flags, we have our spawn points. That's what you do in Capture the Flag. You can toss on some weapons. So you think we're done, but we're not. The flags are going to look really weird, and I'm not even sure if they'll work if you don't do this, so just see if you can. I should have deleted this so I can show you how. So here in our weather palette, we're going to click New Instance, and we can name this whatever we want. I'm going to name it like I had it before. R, wind. And under wind here, we're going to find some wind. Now, you can do a search for wind. In fact, I'm going to do that. .wind in my Halo directory. And let's see what we get. As it turns out, Windows 8 does not let me do a search while I'm recording. So just keep in mind that you can do a search while you're not recording and search for .wind, and you might find stuff. I'm going to go directly to where I know it is, which is in tags, levels, test, rat race, and you'll see multiplayer.wind. And I'm going to just give these whatever magnitude and direction I want. I'm going to put 1 for all those. I'm not going to mess with wind scale function. I really haven't seen... This isn't like wind, like, oh, the players are going crazy and getting blown across the map. This is like... The reason we're doing it for Capture the Flag is, oh, the flag is blowing in the breeze. It's really not a huge deal here. So one last thing that I almost forgot to do is that once you're done creating your weather palette here for your wind, you want to make sure that you go down to the weather folder down here, and I had it set to none before. You make sure you just select your wind palette that you created up here, and also very important that you save with weather selected. You'll see it says save scenario structure BSP, and you'll notice that's different as opposed to if you clicked player starting points and tried to save. You see that this just says save scenario. So go down to your weather, change this, and make sure that you save this. Very important. So now that we have that, our flags will look correct. That's all you needed to do. So now we have our capture the flag ready. Our flags will look correct. They'll be on flag bases. The teams will spawn correctly. We have Slayer spawns.